Let's look at Starlink. Who is the shareholder who was known to be a shareholder of MTN? Ramaphosa. Yes. All right. Who's the chairperson of MTN? Mcebisi. Jonas. Right? And now Ramaphosa wanted to send Mcebisi Jonas to the US as a special envoy before this meeting. You ask yourself, especially, I'm sure you guys have seen the video of Mcebisi Jonas, where he said worse things than the outgoing, the recent ambassador. He said worse things about the administration. He said worse things, right? But Ramaphosa felt comfortable enough and confident enough to send him as the chairperson of his company. And when you do a proper assessment, you then realize that no, the reason he sent him is because the one guy who's got control there in the West, who's a South African billionaire staying there, who controls this Starlink company, yes, is actually got a relationship with MTN. As we speak, MTN has got an agreement that they've signed with Starlink, where they are currently rolling out that technology in Nigeria. So this is not by chance that these individuals are connected in this way, or what is happening the way it is. It's not. There is a bigger play and a bigger agenda here. Then if you look at how they're now trying to use the farm killings, is what they refer to, the genocide. So they go there now and they create this impression and this huge negative narrative that farmers are being killed here in the Western Cape and maybe other provinces, but they focus here because remember, they're all here, right? They go there and they say, by the way, during Zuma's time, Zuma, he stopped the drone implementation, you know, because he felt that there was going to be espionage and collecting of data. Total lie. Total lie. What then happens is the following. If you listen to them properly, they use the farm killings or so-called genocide as a basis and a business case for them to bring in Starlink. To say, no, the only way we can solve our crime problem is because we can bring in Starlink. And Starlink has got the reach to the rural areas. Please, man. How many people from the DA went when a woman was being mauled in Santa Cruz on a racist farmer's farm by 2 pit bulls? How many? None of them. Did they ever talk about that? You'll never hear them. A child in Saldanha, a farmer drove over a child for picking up an orange on the floor, on the ground. Do you ever hear the DA saying anything about that? No. What happened now? Boomerang, the employees. Do you ever hear the DA say anything about that? No. If you look at the stats that were presented by the Minister of Police today, out of 12 farmers that we killed, only 2 were white, the rest were black. But now they want to drive this narrative and then create an impression as though the only way to solve our problems in this country is by bringing Starlink. And then immediately after that trip, like what I told you earlier, now the Minister of Communications wants this thing gazetted to say that Starlink can be brought into the country without a 30% BEE cut for one company. That, by the way, is going to be collecting data from all of us. Because you see, the best way in most cases, if they were to come in legitimately and their intention was to advance this country, There'll be another level whereby they say there must be black-owned companies that will contract with us, and those companies collect the data from us. Then those companies connect to the satellite. That's a different story. But we can't have a situation where that satellite is going to connect directly to you and collect your information in terms of where you move and how you behave with the internet and how you interact. That questions our sovereignty. That questions, like I said, in the cyber security and the cyber world that we live in, a number of issues. So I felt it's important that I highlight what is actually happening here. What they are wanting to do, bring about digitization of the identity, bring e-voting, rig the elections, make sure there's connectivity right up to the rural areas so that when they digitize, people can vote online and then they can rig the elections nicely come 2029. In actual fact, they won't even wait for 2029 as the way they are moving. They want to do it now for local elections. So all I'm saying, comrades, we can't let this situation perpetuate itself in the way and unfold the way it is. We need to make noise about it. We need to fight it.